strengths and weaknesses. And the more and more we watch film on Miami, we realize that this would be a tremendous challenging type game for us to prepare for because of they have tremendous perimeter shooters. They have very good ball handlers. They make good decisions with the ball. And even though we tried to be aggressive defensively, we realized that this would not be a kind of a team that we could force turnovers with, or even speed them up, create indecision on their part from an offensive standpoint. But never in my imagination that I think that we can win a game with them making 17 threes. I knew they were a very good shooting team, but I mean, I thought they just had one of those nights where they shot exceptionally well, even though I thought that we did a decent job defensively. I'm anxious to go back and watch the films. In the first half, I think they were like 2 of 13 on the shots that we were able to contest. They shot a much higher percentage on the shots that we didn't contest. A lot of it because they have the ability to break you down with their ball handling and dribbling skills, and getting the lane forces you to have some type of help, and they did a very good job of kicking the ball out and finding perimeter shooters. I thought our guys were focused. I thought we shot a high percentage because we moved the ball, made the extra pass, and our game plan all along was just to try to get to the basket as much as possible. And we were able to get to the foul line a little bit more because we just felt that I didn't think that we could go out and go 17 or 34 for 3. So we did what we thought we could do, just try to get to the lane and make good decisions with the ball. And I think that probably made the biggest difference. It was the biggest difference in the game, our ability to get to the foul line and get the ball to the basket.
Questions, please.
Coach, y'all had one turnover in the second half, and that was on a shot clock violation. Just what made the difference in terms of taking care of the basketball in that second half?
Miami does a real good job of I wouldn't say they play pack line defense, but they don't get out in passing lanes and force you. They play the percentages. They try to keep you from getting high percentage shots in certain areas. Where we normally try to get out in the passing lanes, we just didn't think that we could do that against Miami because you can just see they're good dribbling and passing team as well. I thought our guys were conscious of that. They moved the ball, we had good spacing, and we made pretty good decisions with the ball. We showing that we improved. The last 3 games we shot high percentages the last 3 games. I think a lot because we moving the ball, making the extra pass, and trying to develop a culture of playing to each other and creating for each other off the dribble and off the pass.
3 straight games, Coach. You've had a halftime lead, had an opposing team really battle you in the second half, and each time your team's weathered the storm and come out on top. How much does that resiliency kind of put to bed any concerns you might have had about what happened against Louisville?
Well, we still basically make a lot of inexperienced mistakes. By no means am I ready to start taking it about. We still have a lot of areas in our game where we still need to improve. I still think we can execute a little better. I think we can get the ball to our post a little bit. I think we can make quicker decisions. But while we're growing and developing, it's good to try to keep winning. The ACC is just a different league where you can play as well as you're capable of playing. And here again, I look out and a team goes 17 and 34 for 3. My goodness, I don't know if I've ever, maybe with the exception of Notre Dame last year, I've never been involved in a game where people shot that well from the perimeter. And we were fortunate enough to win the game. But that's the nature of what goes on. You just got to kind of stick with who you are, try to be the best you can be in relation to the talents that you have. The day we were fortunate enough to come out on top.
Coach, you spoke to it a little bit in your opening statement. When the other team hits 73s, more than likely it's a game you lose. What does it say about your team's effort today that they were able to come out and really roll with every punch that they threw?
Well, I thought that I like the attitude, I like the chemistry, I like the body language that I see developing with these guys. They were communicating, and their conversation was all positive and encouraging, and calling each other out. And we've been trying to develop that type of culture. I never thought that they never showed any signs of panic. And you like to see your team show that type of poise during a very important game that was important to both teams.
And how big of a challenge was it losing Chris early and then having him play his without the role?
Well, we're still trying to work him back into a consistency with our team. Before he got hurt, he was really doing a very good job. He was kind of a go-to interior guy for us. I'm sure it was frustrating to him to get fouls on the free throw line. I think I've seen 2 of those in the last 3 years where a guy gets a foul on the free throw line. You know, normally they allow a certain amount of contact, which he probably did foul somebody, but that was unusual, and I didn't really know it was a foul on him, and we allowed him the next play to get the 3rd foul, and that was somewhat challenging to us. But I thought that he really extended himself. I was glad to see him spend a lot of energy when he went back in the second half, and to the point where I did not see any fatigue in him. That was a tremendous thing.
Coach, do you feel like you got the most out of Kofi tonight?
Well, Kofi does so many things that don't show up in the statistical column. If in terms of things that we feel that are important, that we have 9 fundamental things that we grade every game. We have 9 offensive fundamental things that we grade, and Trent and Phil are always at the top in the fundamental things that we grade in each game. Now, he might not. His contribution might not show in the statistical column as it relates to the statistics that you guys keep, but how we grade on closeout, contains, and fighting screens, and sealing the baseline, and contesting shots, making the extra pass, all the things we look for a guy to do to help us win, he's at the top. And so we're getting a lot out of him. He's improved his perimeter shooting. He's a pass-first type guy, and as he gains more confidence in his offensive game, you're gonna see him just make more and more contribution. Before he got injured, he probably was our best player. He probably was contributing in practice as well as anybody on a consistent basis. And I thought that the 7, 8 weeks that he was off, I thought really set it back a little bit, but I think he's getting back to where I think you're gonna see him make more and more contribution. He's a guy he's a winner. He makes a difference in every game that he plays.
Leonard, 7 players in double figures in an ACC game. Is that your textbook definition of winning by committee?
Well, there's no doubt that you see that term being realized right in front of your very eyes. There's a different guy leading us in scoring just about every game. You have different guys stepping up doing critical parts of the game and making plays. I think we're growing and maturing, and I'm hoping that we can continue to keep moving up. We have a lot of ball we need to play. We're halfway through. When you look at the standings, there are a lot of teams that have lost 4 games. Someone's going to emerge out of that group, move on up. Somebody's going to go the other way, and we just need to stay in the moment, stay focused, and understand that this is a league where you got to be prepared every night out in order to be successful.
Coach, on the final possession of regulation, was the primary option Brian? Was that who you wanted to take the
Yes,
shot?
and they did a very good job of defending it. Walker is a tremendous athlete. I mean, he is as advertised, and he's a handful. And I thought he'd get a tremendous job. We work on those things, kind of things every day, what we call situations. And he probably could have curled a little better as opposed to flaring. When a guy's trailing you, you want to curl. If a guy's on the top, you want to flare. But I thought he made a tremendous defensive play. Pretty good offensive execution, great defensive effort on his part.
Leonard, how